I was able to hear you. I was able to hear you, no problem. You couldn't hear me?
Oh, I couldn't hear you. Yeah.
Okay. No worries. There's just an audio setting. So, are you in settings?
Yeah, I just hit settings now.
Okay. So scroll down and go to the section which is calls.
So when I hit settings, I must be in the wrong spot for settings. Hold on. Let me go.
No, you have account, you have messages, you have calls. There's different sections. It has your phone number there.
Yeah, I'm going because actually I'm on my email. I'm gonna go into the Google app.
No, you actually need to be in Voice, Google Voice. That's what you need to be in.
Voice, yeah. Okay, so let me go there. So why is that opening it up? This is left right here. Oh, okay. Okay, what's that? I'm almost there. Oh, it's just booting up. Okay, so now I'm in here. Now you're saying it's a little.
So there's a section.
Okay,
Go to call. Yeah, go to settings. Is Michael on the phone with us?
Yeah, he's right here. Yeah, he's right next to me.
Hey, Mike.
Okay.
How you doing?
Good, good.
And then from there, you said do what next after I get to this little spot?
Scroll down. There's a section that's calls. And we're just making sure that we turn that on. When Michael and I were in there a couple of days ago, I think we set it up to where it's on. I just think it'd be good for you to have sometimes the ability to record calls when people call you, you know?
Yeah.
So you see where it says incoming calls, and it has record call, push 4, and then switch to link phone?
We're scrolling still down. See it, Michael?
So it,
voicemail.
incoming call options. It's above voicemail. You're down. You're too far.
Okay. Do not disturb.
One more section up.
Incoming call.
So there should be a. Is it selected or not selected? Hmm.
It's turned on where you just press.
Okay.
The call.
Okay. Well, I was just testing it when I called you guys just now to see if it would work. Let's test it one more time, and before you answer, try pushing 4. I'm gonna hang this phone up and then call you right back just so we can test that out for you guys.
Okay. Okay.
Call is now being recorded.
Awesome. There we go. What'd you have to do?
After I answered the phone, then press 4. But did you hear this? Say this
Yeah.
call? Did you hear me?
Yes.
You heard it?
Yes.
The X factor was being on Google Voice because typically she answers her email, not Google Voice to have.
Yeah, you got to have voice open, or either on your browser, like your laptop, or on your phone, one or the other. But yeah, awesome. Yeah, I was able to hear it, and that's what you want because when you record, you're not really trying to hide it. You know, if they ask if the call is being recorded, you just tell them yes, and then if they have a problem with it, you can just turn it off. You know, but legally, when you record a call, they're supposed to know.
Okay. And how would I? Do you know how I would turn it off?
Yeah, you don't probably press forward.
Okay. Turn 4 again.
I think you would hit 4 again, and it should turn the recording off. But we can test that another time. Or you guys, you guys could always call each other and test it out and play around with it on your own. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
Okay, so I have RedX open. We're just gonna listen to the call you sent over, and we'll listen to Michael's as well from a couple days ago, and we'll just talk about it. Okay.
Okay.
So it's Martha Bernal is the one that you sent over, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I think if I remember correctly, it was a geo lead. You talked to the husband. He was going to talk to the wife, and then you're going to follow up.
Correct. Yeah,
Okay, so
correct.
let's listen to it first. I'm gonna let it play, or I may slow it down in between. I'm gonna let it play through one time first, and then we'll talk about it and do like a play-by-play and kind of break it down. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So give me one moment. Looks like you guys have been making more calls. So you have some more recordings in there, so that's great. Maybe we'll take a look at some of those too. Okay.
I
So
have a question for you.
what? So
So you had said, hey, you guys need to bump up your calls, right?
Yes.
So the question is it if we bump it up, like say extra 50, then to 100, then to get to 400, is that acceptable to you, or you want us to go from what we're doing now straight to 200, or if you want to see it immediate, like we give us a week or two to get to 200? What is your expectation?
My expectation is to see you guys succeed. So I want you to be doing everything you can to be able to get there. Bumping it up another couple hundred calls is just spending another hour, hour and a half, 2 hours on it. And when you don't have a bunch of listings and other stuff going on, your main focus should be cold calling right now.
Okay, I just gotta ask.
At the end of the day, you guys are going to do what you want to do with your business. But, I mean, if you're going to bump it up by 50 or 150 now, it's going to be your choice with how much time you spend on it. My suggestion is be calling a minimum of 200 dials every single day. Minimum.
Okay.
Now,
okay.
if you want to gradually get there, that's up to you. At the end of the day, you know, it's really, you want to learn to see the reason why we have these dialers and technology today is to be able to call a lot more. So that, compared to the old school, like when I first started cold calling, we had like a printed out title sheet and we used to just dial by hand. And yeah, you're not going to get a lot of number dials in then, but when you have technology like this, you really want to learn how to use it to the best of your ability to optimize your time and not spend during your calls. Here's a suggestion. This is going to help. Don't do any admin stuff. Don't, after you have a good call, send them an email. Don't send them a text. Don't stop in your call session and stop your momentum. Do that stuff after your call session.
Okay.
So, like, after you spoke to Martha, then, you know, instead of sending her an email, instead of doing any type of admin stuff, just note it. And then after I'm not saying you did, but after the call session, then you go back and you send your emails. Then you send your text messages. And because the thing is, you don't have to get on it right away. Even if you set an appointment, you know, it's not really a super urgent matter to do it during the call session. You can just wait an hour or 2 hours and do it all after your call session.
Okay.
You just want to note it properly. Okay, blah blah blah. Spoke to Martha. Talked to the husband. Make sure you have it set for a call back in your Red X. And then when you're done with the call session, just go back and send your texts, send your emails, do what you're going to tell them that you were going to do for your follow up, and because that's really what you want to do. So you're not spending too much time during the call session when you have momentum going and slowing yourself down. Finish that call, take the notes, move on to the next one, and keep that momentum going.
Okay.
Have you guys been stopping after calls and doing admin stuff?
Yeah.
And you're gonna want to do that, but all you have to do is when you talk to them after you're getting off the phone, just set the expectation. Martha, I'm gonna be sending you an email. I'm gonna be sending you a text, and you'll get that stuff by the end of the day. When you get that stuff, when you get my email, can you just reply so I know you got it? And they're okay not getting it right away, you know, because remember, we called them out of the blue anyways. It's not something that's on the top of their important list for, you know, to do business with you just because you had a conversation with them. It is on the top of our mind because we just created something. We want to be able to send that email, send them that text, and get that result. But it's not really that important to do it during your call session. You can just do it right afterwards.
Okay.
Try that. That's going to bump your numbers up a lot.
And would you also say that another concern is that making sure that as we do our call session, we already have stuff like our follow-up that we need to be on top of, just on top of the calls. But I'm really concerned about making sure that I'm doing the proper follow-up, because we're doing all this stuff to get the call, but then we need to set aside time to make sure the follow-up for not only whatever we do that day, but, you know, ongoing.
Yes.
I know.
It needs to be part of your daily cycle, you know, and that's just stuff that you're going to get. There's going to be part of your day every day. You know, your cold calling, your prospecting is going to be just as important as going to the doctors. You know, things like that. That's how important it needs to be. And if something comes up, or even if you have an appointment, like let's say your call session is scheduled from 8 to 11 a.m. and you know, you get a call from a past client and they want to meet. Treat your calling like an appointment. Tell them you're not available till noon, or 1. You know, make your cold calling a priority because this is the foundation of your business, and it really needs to be, you know, a priority. Now, again, you guys are going to do whatever you want off for your business. But these are all going to be my suggestions just to be able to start getting the results that you need to get from your calling.
Okay. So yeah. Okay.
So right now, and we'll look at the numbers here and again in a minute, but let me play this call and we'll see how it went. And I did listen to it a few times already, but I want to listen to it with you, okay?
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Oh, give me one sec. I have a double audio going.
I love your journeys that you take every day.
Oh man, I got to stay busy.
Yeah.
I went down to I went out to well, you saw I went out to Stinson Beach last night.
Yeah. That was, how far is that from you? Is that on? That's on Highway 1. That's a 2-hour drive from you.
2-hour drive if there's traffic, yeah. But yeah, I mean, for me, that type of stuff energizes me and it keeps me grounded. So if I'm having a decent day, sometimes I'll just go on a drive. And when I'm driving, I have a lot of creative thinking going. That's when I think, a lot as well. So going on a drive like that's awesome. And then going for the sunset, get some food, and just come right back.
Yeah. No, awesome.
Stuff like that. Like, I need to be able to have a work-life balance, and making sure that I set enough time aside for myself is important, just as important as working with you guys right now. Okay, so let's play this call here. Give me one sec. Okay, this is a geo lead around 200 Isleton, the property that was closed for over 40,000. And it's basically, this is a just sold call. So let's listen to it.
Hey, this is Norma available? This is Pamela Badu with EXP Realty. How are you?
Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
Can you hear me? Hey, yeah, I was just calling. I'm with can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just calling regarding, we just sold a home at 200 Isleton. I want to make sure I'm talking to the right homeowner for 173 Levain.
Yeah, this is speaking.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, we just want to let you know we just sold 200 Isleton. We sold 40,000 over asking price, and just want to let the neighborhood know what was going on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I know, huh?
Yeah, no, it was not something we haven't given a thought of or anything like that.
Oh, really? Yeah, because we listed it at 400. We listed it at 440,000, and then we got 40,000 over asking. We had about 5, offers on that home, so it's really, really a high demand area where you're at right now.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if you guys were in the market. Yeah, I don't know if you guys were in the market to sell, because this is the time. It's very, very hot in your little neighborhood.
Yeah, I wonder why. Yeah, I got to talk to the wife, and we'll give it a thought. I mean, like I said,
we can. Never thought about and if you're even interested, what we can do is we can send you more information about the area. We can sit down if you wanted to have a face-to-face talk or a Zoom talk, and kind of really get an idea of what your home could sell for if you were to sell, based on we have actual facts from the house on Isleton. If you wanted to get more information, we know exactly how the market is going, because we literally just experienced the whole process. The address is, it's okay, it's 200 Isleton.
Isleton?
So it's like right around the corner. It's like you can walk to it from your house.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I was just wondering to see what were the conditions, just to see how,
okay.
Just to see how we rate as in, like...
Yeah, because this one, the one we sold was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. So your house is a lot larger. Ours was smaller than the one that you currently have, because you have a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,300 square feet. Ours is like 750 square feet, so it's a lot smaller.
Oh yeah, that sounds small. Yeah, this is about, I think it's a little bigger. I think it's 1,300 or 1,200.
Yeah, and we're at 7. I think we're at 749. Sorry, 929. 929 was our. Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So yeah, I'll give my wife a call. I'll talk to her, and I'll give you guys a call.
Okay. Or would it be okay to call back?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so I'll call you back and kind of get an idea. We can book a time or whatever to meet and chat a little bit more in detail.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, okay, great. And you know what? Would you mind giving an email? I don't see an email on for your contact. Is there something so that I can communicate with you better?
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it there because we don't need to listen to the rest of that call. Before we talk about it, have you had a chance to listen to that call again yourself?
I never. This is my first time listening to it again.
Okay, what are your thoughts?
I actually liked it. The only thing for me is like I could tell like I talk really really fast and I'm like so I could kind of feel that energy. You know, when I was talking to him, that maybe I should have been a little slower because he was kind of like very slow.
Okay, Mike, what's your feedback? Be honest now, guys.
Analysis, we control the conversation, so like the pace of the conversation, that'll probably be my only thing. It felt like towards the end it started to speed up a little bit, and it wasn't him that was dictating the speed, it was my mom that was dictating it, so just kind of being conscious of pace and, tonality, all that stuff.
Okay, so both of you guys are, on point. The mechanics, like what you say is one thing, and how the conversation goes is another, as far as tonality and matching the tone, listening, things like that. So there's mechanics of the call, and then there's parts of like what you actually say, and it's all important. Now, I'm gonna play it again, and then I'm gonna stop it and then talk about certain little parts. Okay. Second here. Okay, here we go.
Hello?
Hey, this is Norma available? This is Pamela Biden with.
Do you have the notification on to where you hear that ding when they answer?
I think so.
Okay, that needs to be on because he picked up the phone, he was there, and you guys are talking amongst yourself before he even says anything. So when they answer the phone, when you have that notification on, you'll get a notification, so that way you can be quiet. That's the first thing that I'll point out here.
EXP Realty, how are you?
Hello?
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 Hey, this is Norma available? This is Pamela Biden with EXP Realty. How are you?
Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
Can you hear me?
So quickly, the first 10, 15 seconds is always going to be the key to your conversations. When you start digging into expireds and FSBOs more, that's going to be key, because a lot of times if you don't win that first 10 to 15 to 20 seconds, they're going to be hanging up on you, or if they made the decision, they don't want to talk to you already. Now, you asked them a couple of questions. How are you? And then you asked, is Martha available? In the beginning, if you're going to open with a question, let them answer, okay? And at first, it didn't really matter because he couldn't hear you or understand you or something like that. But you also have to know when you ask a question or you do the opening, learn to pause. Learn to throw those pauses in there and not be in such a rush, because he didn't even hear you, so there was that jumbling back and forth before you guys even knew who each other were.
Hey, yeah, I was just calling. I'm with can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just calling regarding, we just sold a home at 200 Iselton. I want to make sure I'm talking to the right homeowner for 173 Louvain.
Yeah, this is speaking.
Okay, yeah. So basically, we just want to let you know we just sold 200 Iselton. We sold 40,000 over asking price.
So that would be a good time when he confirmed who he was to ask the "How are you?" question or something like that. And just instead of rolling right into it, now that you've confirmed that you're talking to the right person, okay, how are you? Something like that, if you're going to be asking how you are, because I usually don't ask them how they are in the very beginning of the call, because I don't really want to give them a reason to bring any negativity into the conversation. And the fact is, even though Ricky Carew says, how are you? A lot of callers like myself, we don't really ask how they are too much, because yes, we want to have a conversation, but I just don't want them to bring any negativity into the conversation. And I'll be honest, like I don't always I don't really always care like how they're doing, and a lot of times that's going to bring negativity into the conversation. Just keep that in mind. Now, like initially you asked, who you were speaking to. You asked them a couple of questions, but if you would have just asked the first question, like, is this Martha? And then the conversation would have rolled on. Then after he confirmed that he was the husband or one of the owners, hey, how are you? That type of thing.
And just want to let the neighborhood know what was going on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I know, huh?
Okay, so he's saying, he thinks that you think that he's saying Jesus about the 40,000 over asking. In reality, he getting ready to say Jesus, like, oh, we haven't even thought about that. So you want to listen, because I don't think he even heard the part about selling it over 40,000. He was like, saying, oh, Jesus, like, we haven't even thought about that, and that's going to come out here in a minute.
Yeah, no, it was not something we haven't given a thought of or anything like that.
Oh, really? Yeah, because we listed it at 400. We listed it at 440,000, and then we got 40,000 over asking. We had about 5, offers on that home, so it's really, really a high demand.
Like you really, and this is okay, but you're really on it to where you want to be able to explain everything. Like sold over 40,000. We got all these asking these offers, that type of thing. And really, his mind isn't quite there yet. He's still saying, oh, he's kind of caught off guard, like we haven't thought about selling. And so, yes, you have all this ammo, all this stuff that you want to tell him that you guys did that was so great, but his mind's not even there, and you're continuing to like give him an elevator pitch of what had happened. So that it's good to have that information, but you just got to learn when to put that information in, because right now he's just still off guard about the fact that you're calling about him wanting to sell his house.
An area where you're at right now.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if you guys were in the market. Yeah, I don't know if you guys were in the market to sell, because this is the time. It's very, very hot in your little neighborhood.
Instead of saying, I don't know if you guys were in the market to sell, think about rephrasing that. Like, have you guys considered selling in the near future? Or if you can get, with the market being so hot, if you guys could get the price you want, or if you can get top dollar for your property, would you consider selling? And then you do want to be able to ask that question and let them talk. There's just different ways to rephrase it. A lot of times what I do with just listed, just sold calls, I put it out there like that, saying, with the market being so hot right now, if you can get the price you needed, would you consider selling? Or since Isleton just sold for over 40,000 with multiple offers, we have buyers that want to move to the area. Would you consider selling? The buyers moving to the area is a good thing, because with just sold calls, especially with multiple offers, we know that there were other people interested in that property that didn't get it because the people who bought it did. So we know for a fact that there's a really high probability that if you get a listing in that same neighborhood, you're going to have other buyers that could be interested in that property. So you're not BSing them. That's a reality in this market because properties are going so fast.
Yeah, I wonder why. But yeah, I gotta talk to the wife, and we'll give it a thought. I mean, like I said,
we can never thought about. Yeah, and if you're even interested, what we can do is we can send you more information about the area.
One thing I always do or try to do when they talk about the other party, that's like we call it an OPK. So other party kill. Like he could be interested, but I gotta talk to the wife, or vice versa with the husband. Because right now, all you're doing is going for a face-to-face. That's your goal, is try to get face-to-face with him. You don't need him to make a decision to where if he wants to sell. You don't need for him to agree to anything like a commitment. Now, one thing I'd like to do, and it works a lot, when they're talking about, he could be interested in hearing more, but he'd have to talk to his wife before doing anything. Remind him that this isn't something that he's being committed to. Something like, and I say this a lot, and I have a sheet that I'll send you with things like this. What's his name? His name is Mario. Mario, I wouldn't expect you to make any decisions right now. I just called you out of the blue. And that's after he's said, I got to talk to the wife. Why don't we do this? We're going to be in the area tomorrow anyways, around 10 a.m. or 2 days from now, or whenever. And this is kind of like a soft going for the appointment. Because he's saying that he could be interested in hearing more, but he needs to talk to the wife. Why don't we do this? We're going to be in the neighborhood on this day at this time. Why don't I pencil it into my calendar? You can talk to Martha. After the call, I'm going to be texting and emailing you anyways. If that doesn't work out, we'll just find another time that works for you. And so you're putting the appointment on calendar. Then you'll go to the appointment. Okay, you're setting the appointment. You're gonna text him and email him. You're gonna follow up anyways to confirm that appointment still works. Meanwhile, if he truly just wants to talk to the wife, he can do that. And if she has a problem with it, assure him that you can cancel the appointment. But being at the market's so hot, I don't want my calendar to book up. You're a busy agent, right? You don't just have all the time in the world to drop everything. You want to give them that mindset that you guys are busy. So what I'd like to do is, looking at my calendar, I am going to be in the area on Saturday. How about we pencil it in for 10 a.m.? You can talk to Martha today and tomorrow. If she has any issues at all, we can either cancel it or find a new time. Is that fair enough? And that's going to get you a lot of appointments. We're just going to pencil it in, or it's going to test if he's truly interested or not. If he goes back, well, I don't know, I got to talk to my wife still, he may not be as motivated or interested as it may seem initially. But it's kind of like, okay, let's go for the appointment, or let's determine his motivation level, okay?
Okay.
And this could go for any type of lead, expired, FSBO, anything. Like if they're showing interest, then you can go to that. But I got to talk to my wife. I got to talk to my husband. Okay, yeah, I wouldn't expect you to make any decisions at all right now anyways. How about you talk to them? We're going to pencil it into on the calendar. If it doesn't work, we can reschedule or cancel. Fair enough? I say that a lot. Fair enough. And believe it or not, that works quite a bit. Or you're getting him off your plate because he's not truly as interested as it may seem.
Area, we could sit down if you wanted to have a face-to-face talk or a Zoom talk and kind of really get an idea of, what your home could sell for if you were to sell, based on we'd have actual facts from the house on Eiffelton. If you wanted to get more information, we know exactly how the market is going because we literally just experienced the whole process. The address is 200 Eiffelton.
Now that he's asking about the property would be the time to have talking about the stuff as far as selling it over asking, things like that. This is when he's actually listening, and he knows now that you're talking about a property in the area. This would be the time that you would use that we sold it over $40,000. We got multiple offers, that type of thing. Because earlier he wasn't listening to that. He was just thinking about, oh, I got a realtor calling to see if I want to sell. Oh gosh. But now you piqued his interest a little bit, and he's actually asking about the property itself.
So it's like right around the corner. It's like you can walk to it from your house.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I was just wondering to see what were the conditions, just to see
how, okay.
Just to see how our house...
And this is when you start giving him facts on his house. So one thing I would try to do, instead of just going down and saying, that house was, you can say, okay, Eiffelton was 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Talk about the square footage if you want. But then rather than being the expert and telling him what his house is, maybe ask, how many bedrooms and bath is your property? How many square foot is your property? Get them to start talking about their pride and joy in their property rather than just giving him all the facts.
Okay.
Range as in like...
Yeah, because this one, the one we sold was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. So your house is a lot larger. Ours was smaller than the one that you heard.
So Eiffelton was 2-bedroom, 2-bath. How many bedrooms and bath do you have? Instead of telling him what he has.
Yeah, because you have a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,300 square feet. Ours is like 750 square feet, so it's a lot smaller.
Oh yeah, that sounds small. Yeah, this is about, I think it's a little bigger. I think it's on the 1,300 or 1,200.
Yeah, we're at 7. I think we're at 749. Sorry, 929. 929 was our. Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. But yeah, I'll give my wife a call. I'll talk to her and I'll give you guys a call.
Okay, or would it be okay?
Again, the wife thing, and you know how I handle that now. Well, yeah, I definitely would want. I definitely don't want you to make any decisions at all before talking to the wife. I don't want to get anybody in any trouble. Maybe joke about it a little bit. I'd hate to be, I'd hate to get you guys in a tangle. Just something like that, And then, he's going to the wife again. It wouldn't be a bad idea to say, well, yeah, talk to her. How about we set it up to her, on the calendar for a couple of days at this time, and then if it doesn't work, we could always we can always change it up or cancel. And so, a little bit ago, you actually asked him, okay, how about we set up? How we can even set up a call? We can do a Zoom. You could give him all these different options of what you could do when you really want to control, what the plan is. If you want to meet face to face, then say that. You had given him options like, oh, we can do a call. It's really loose as far as what you want to do. When in reality, you want to get face to face. You want to see the property. You want to be able to meet with him and do a full listing presentation, and that's because that's the purpose of the call. And so just be a little bit more definite with what you're looking to do instead of leaving it so open to where he's running the show.
Okay to call back?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, if I call you back and kind of get an idea, we can book a time or whatever to meet and chat a little bit more in detail.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, okay, great. And you know what? Would you mind?
Try using this as well, because now he's thinking, okay, I'm possibly going to meet with these guys. They're going to try to get me to sell my house. Ask him something like this. Paint the picture. Mario, in a perfect world, if you guys did sell your property, what would your plans be? Get him thinking what the motivation would be. Okay, if they sell, where would they move to? What would they be upgrading? Would they be downgrading? Get them thinking, forward thinking about that. Because when you really want to find that motivation, this is a call just out of the blue. You're just calling this guy. He didn't expect you to call. But now it's gotten to a point where he's even considering meeting with you. Just take it a step further. If and when we were able to sell the property for you and Martha, what would the plans be? Maybe they're downsizing, maybe they're upgrading, maybe they haven't thought about it. But if he gives you something, that's motivation. That motivation is ammo that you're going to be able to use throughout the relationship to circle back towards like, okay, once we sell this property, you're going to be upgrading, you're going to be downgrading. And then you're painting the picture that you can help them with that too. Oh, we don't have a place yet. Well, that's not a problem. Michael and I will be able to find you a new property when we get to that point. Let's take it one step at a time. Looking at the calendar, we can come by tomorrow at 10 or 12. You can talk to Martha tonight, and if it doesn't work out, we can always change it or cancel it. Fair enough?
Mind giving an email? I don't see an email for your contact. Is there something so that I can communicate with you better?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, you can start giving the email there. So now, when we listen to these, they're going to be painful sometimes. And that's what it's all about is, yes, you did some good things in there, but then there's some stuff that you can work on too. And the only way to get better is lots of dials, repetition, continuing to listen to these calls, continuing to apply things that I'm suggesting, and maybe just work on other things. So the main thing is, though, the way you're going to get better with this is just lots of dials, lots of conversations with guys like Mario. Then next time somebody says, oh, I got to talk to my wife or whatever, then well, why don't I try saying this? Let's see if it works. And who knows, it may work. And then you'd be like, okay, great, I have some more ammunition in my tool belt, that type of thing. And so, just more dials, more conversations, and the more conversation. Now, the good thing is you got his email. The good thing is he's expecting to talk to you again. He agreed to. Now, if you can get him back on the phone, that's a whole nother ball game there, and we'll talk about that later. But you got the email. This call yesterday?
It was the day before yesterday.
Okay.
So actually, this is day 2.
Okay.
He's in the call log for today.
Since you had this conversation with him, what action have you taken?
taking him for a call and giving him that. And I sent you a copy of it, but I sent it to Jeremy Marketing. You know, I just because I wasn't on a thread, because I had to send it straight from my email, I couldn't throw it in the thread. But anyway, I sent it to you. Basically, it was just a video email thanking him for taking the call and providing him with a tool that can help him. You know, as they're sitting kind of thinking, you know, what this next step looks like. It's a great little tool, like an app, where based on your house, you can figure out if you were to sell it, what it would look like, if you're going to refi, what it would look like, if you're going to keep it in, you know, as a rental, and all this stuff, tells you all the different scenarios. So it's a really good tool for sellers when they're thinking of selling, or if they're thinking of what the next step in their life is going to be.
Sounds like a cool tool, but it also sounds like you could be giving away your power of what you're there to do. Because if he can just put his address in and figure out what the value is and what that would look like or to refi, that takes away some of your value.
It also sends out like monthly newsletter and other stuff. It's not just like once they see it, then we don't have any contact. Like we can see when they open it. It's called HomeBot if you're familiar with HomeBot.
Nope, so it puts them into a email drip.
Yep, so it gets stuff every month. It's like I literally just got an email from another lady. She's a past client. She's like, Pam, thank you so much for keeping in touch with me on what's going on. I think we're ready to sell now.
Did Martha or did they open the email that you sent, or have you had any communication since?
Actually, they opened it 4 times.
Okay,
Yeah.
and have you had any communication?
No, they're always scheduled. I had them on callback for today.
Awesome. And so
Yeah.
this callback, you know, you really want to be, I mean, if you get him on the phone, you probably know that he's willing to meet with you. And at that point, you're setting the appointment. In future, like this meeting, this phone call that you're having with him today could have been, you know, potential face-to-face. You guys were going to be doing, you know, a listing presentation. If you had just, you know, tried a few things as far as going for the appointment, that doesn't matter though, because at this point, he's opening your email. If you have a conversation with him today, most likely it's going to be a conversation figuring out a time to meet. And that's what you want.
Correct.
Now, if you can't get him on the phone, then, you know, maybe a different story. Maybe, do you have, on top of the email, did you send any a text message at all?
No text message, just the email.
Okay. And when you ended the call, and I didn't play it because I didn't want to, you know, play that his email, but after you got the email, did you give him like a game plan in your mind of what he can expect? Like email and text, or like what kind of follow-up he can expect from you?
She said she was going to follow up a few days later. I'm pretty sure she might have said Thursday, but she said like 2 days she was going to follow up.
Okay, awesome. One thing I would do in addition, okay, you got the email. You're talking to him on his phone. Confirm if it's a mobile phone or not. Okay, Mario, when we get done here, by the end of the day, you're going to get an email from us, and you're going to get a text message. If you could just reply so I know you got it, even though your technology shows you that you can see if they've opened it or not, but this just creates interaction. If you could just reply so I know you got it, and then after you talk to Martha, we'll set up a time that works for both of you guys to meet and discuss details of getting your property listed and sold, you know? And
Yeah.
if you know if that's a mobile phone or not, then you know if you can create, you know, if you can text him. And like, is it okay? Does this number get text as well? Have you guys gotten any thank you cards yet? Your cheap little thank you cards.
Oh, we have we have cards. We have cards. I did not send him a card. I didn't send him a card saying, you know, nice chatting with you. But we do have cards, and that can be implemented.
So these are handwritten ones, right?
Yeah, they're just blank note cards. Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, you don't want to use like one of those services. I mean, those services like the send out postcards, those are okay, but this is something different. This is just more just a thank you. Regardless if you ever talk to him again or if you ever meet with him, every good conversation, at least for right now, you want to send that thank you card as well with your business card, just thanking them and just, you know, making yourself available. That's going to go a long way. The more leads you create, and it's all going to come together kind of in a snowball effect to where your calls that you're making on the front end, you know, the follow-up is really where you're going to see a lot of your traction. As I say, the fortune is in the follow-up. So yes, you might get some appointments on the front end. You might get some deals on the front end. But some of this stuff, you may not even meet with Mario or do a transaction with Mario for 3, 6 months, 12 months, 8, who knows? You could talk to him now, but you may not even they may not decide to sell right now. So it could be something for, 5 years from now. Who knows? But when you're doing the setup on the front end, it's going to help you long term for that pipeline that you're building out.
Okay. Yeah. So we're playing. I mean, as we're doing the code, as we're trying to manage or make sure we get our 200 calls out, then we're also just really gonna have to hone in on make sure that follow up is on point. We understand how important it is, and if we got one time only to make sure we set them up and make sure everything rolls. Because now I feel like we're gonna have like an explosion of leads.
Well,
so we're like, I'm freaking out. I don't know about Michael, but I'm freaking out. He can't tell because this is the first time for him, but I do know what this back end's gonna look like, and so for me, I'm like, whoa. And he's like, what do you see? I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, it's just staying organized and having a process and system, so that way it doesn't become a big deal. It just becomes part of what you're doing, and the more dials you're making, like you just said, the more leads you're going to create to nurture, like Mario. And the more leads you create to nurture, the more appointments you're going to have, and then the more listings and more closed deals you're going to have. But it all starts with dials and having that process and system on the front end to where your follow-up long-term isn't like a big mess or a big headache because you're setting it up properly on the front end. Now, it looks like in RedX, at least with Mario, did you put him in as a callback or in RedX?
We looked at it. We updated him. We put his email in there. I put the call back. We put the notes. I think we followed all the little steps. We saved the call, put him in call back. Updated it. We made sure what phone number was attached to him. We actually put him in Mario because his name's not on that little thing.
Okay.
Put his email in. Yeah, all those little steps we kind of immediately addressed.
Okay. I think you, because I'm looking at it, and you may want to go back, and then also for future, when you click callback in the stages, you did hit callback, but I do not think that you actually set up, how that box pops up to set the callback. I don't think you actually put a callback for yourself in RedX. I could be wrong, but it's not showing here in your follow-up list. Norma, Martha, Mario. Okay, so actually it is there. So you have a callback set up for the 22nd at 10:30. So after we get off the phone here, you're going to give them a call. It just doesn't show in the actual lead. I'm wondering why here. Okay.
Because the first time we did it didn't take, and Michael was watching me. He was like, "Nope, you missed that because you gotta check off these little check offs. When you call them, do you want to be set up? All this like Michael's like I said, he's very, which I'm not. What is that? Very
detail.
Just a matter of very
detail oriented. That's good. That's like me too. And
so that is something I have to step up as far as just those details. Because he's like, Mom, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. And I'm looking at the same thing he's looking at. And I was like, oh, okay.
What email do you guys have set up for RedX? What's your main email for the account?
PamelaSpivey@gmail.com.
Can you check your email to see if you got an email from RedX as a callback reminder?
Let me look, because I know they're coming in. So let's see here.
Because it looks like you have 2 callbacks in here, and because you did it twice because you wanted to make sure. But we want to make sure that you're also hitting that reminder and then get email reminder, because you're basically being overly. You're doing a little more than you need to on the front end just to make sure the stuff doesn't slip through the cracks, basically. But you should have an email from them this morning reminding you to call back Norma. And if not, at your next callback, just make sure you're checking that send email box. And then verify with RedX which email is the main one on your account, because that's the one that will get the callback reminders. Let's see. Did you have? Let me look at. Did you guys integrate your Gmail? I think we did that on the front. No, actually, no. You know, you need to go to Vortex settings because it's not set up right now. So the drop down by the little person, there's one that says settings, and you need to connect your Gmail account so that way it's integrated.
Okay, so you just push the button just now.
Yeah, and then you connect with whatever one you want to connect it to, and that's going to integrate your Gmail. And if you're not getting email reminders, if you hadn't been, either two things: you didn't check the box, or it needed to be connected like it is now. So for future, you should get those emails.
I was seeing some emails and I was thinking, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and as long as you put it on the front end, you know, when you're setting the callback email reminder, then you should get those emails.
Okay, we're done.
Awesome,
Okay.
awesome.
Okay.
Michael, you want to listen? You want to listen to that call you had sent me?
Yeah, it won't hurt.
If you have the time, yeah, way over.
Let's do it. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Let me take a quick look here.
I'm pretty sure I sent it separately because it was through Chime. That's the one you're talking about.
We're talking about the one from a couple of days ago, right?
So I have one that's through Vortex, and then I sent one in a separate email. It should be titled like Michelle Carter Recording.
Oh, okay, let me take a look. Do you want to listen to that one, Michelle?
That was the most recent one. Either one is fine.
Yeah. Well, we can listen to the Michelle one. Let me take. I think you sent it last night.
Yes.
Okay, here
I
it is.
believe So.
Yep. Now, just to set me up, is this what kind of a lead is it? Tell me about it.
This is from Chime. This is the other team I was telling you about, the other
Right.
database.
Yep.
And as far as it's just cold call, the online lead, and pretty much all I can tell is the resource that they came from, and then their name and whatever search criteria that they looked up online.
Is it a listing lead or a buyer lead?
This one is a buyer lead.
Okay. Let's take a listen, and I'll do my best to help you. But again, my niche is going to be the listing side, but mechanics and stuff like that we can still talk about. But what was the end result of this call? What had happened?
So pretty much initially she was looking. She went. She got into a lease. So she said she was out of the market, and I offered her a couple of resources. The conclusion was I sent her email with HomeBot and got her started with that, and just let her know that she could speak with a lender in the future. And I believe, yeah, that was about it.
Okay. When we get done here sometime today, could you guys send me the same emails that you're sending through HomeBot so I can see what's going out?
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just curious to see how that's, and to kind of set me up on, you know, the regular drips like you would have with Mario. I just kind of want to see what's going out to your people. That'd be good for me to have that. So let's play this one with let's play Michelle Carter. Can you guys hear it?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello?
Hey, Michelle, it's Michael with EST Realty. How are you?
I'm good.
I was just giving you a call. Oh, sorry, what'd you say?
I'm sorry, where are you calling from?
I'm calling with EST Realty. My name is Michael.
Oh.
Yeah, I was just reaching out and seeing if there was anything that my team can do to assist with your real estate needs.
Oh, no, not at this time. I just signed a new lease, and did I click a button or something?
Just kind of looking.
She's like, "Oh, did I become a lead?" Now, when this lead comes in, what does it look like to you? What are you given, Michael?
So I can see their name, number. If they have the email, it'll tell me the location that they came from. I can see what search criteria that they previously looked at, and then as far as any email campaigns that they've been on, I can see that they've been on it, if they've opened it, and yeah, who they last spoke to, all that.
Do you know? So, are these older leads, or are these just being generated?
So it varies because there
Yeah.
So they have them categorized. Some are new, some are older. So it's random. It varies.
Gotcha. Yeah, I really liked. I haven't used it, but I've seen some demos on Chime, and it's like one of those CRMs that has everything. They have a dialer in there too, right?
Yeah, I have the dialer with them as well.
Nice. Okay, and
Speak to my dialer.
your colleague just gives you access to his account.
Yes.
Nice. Okay. Let me continue playing this here.
Looking through Trulia.
Old. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm always looking at stuff. But
Yeah. No, I
think I'm
understand
gonna
that.
put
You
it on.
know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna put California on hold for a minute. So, unless there's some great foreclosure or something going on, or something within my low budget right now.
Oh yeah. What is the Ranger looking for?
Low.
Now we're going to continue listening, but she kind of gave you some good info. Putting California on hold for a little bit. Then in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, she's not in California. It's potentially a relocation. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe I could dig in and ask a little bit, where she's from and that type of thing, because it sounds like she'd be relocating to California. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what it sounded like.
And I don't know what you did. We're going to keep listening, and you may do that. But I'm just thinking that'd be a sign in my mind. Oh, well, so she's not in Cali. Maybe that's good information for me to have. That it'd be a relocation, right?
Yeah.
I don't know
When you
what
say
area.
low.
Well, yeah, I don't have an exact price range right now, but
Oh yeah, no worries.
yeah.
Did you ever get a chance to speak with the lender at? Audio kind of cut out.
Yeah, it did. I know. Let me see if I can move forward a little bit. Here, let's do this. Now, while I'm doing that, when you're calling, are you able to see like her area code and stuff like that, or anything like what area she is because she's in to know where she is?
So mainly it's the area that they're looking, not so much the area that they're in.
And do you hand dial the number, or is it in the dialer, like automatic dial?
It's the automatic. It's the same as like the Vortex, how it has the bridge number, or like that same concept.
You're able to see the area code then, right?
Oh, for the numbers, yes.
Okay. Sometimes I just open another tab and just search the area code, so that way I'm gathering information for myself, where she is, that type of thing. That way I can have more to talk about with her, more questions to ask.
Okay.
Off right now. What area are you?
So I'm in California, and then my team, we cover Bay Area, Contra Costa County, all the way to the Central Valley.
Oh, okay, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not even sure anymore where I want to be. I think I'm gonna leave the Bay Area, but not sure how far away. So I don't know.
definitely.
I guess I'm gonna put that on hold right now. So.
Well, I don't want to be too pushy, but if you did want to speak with the lender and just get a feel for what your options are, and then you kind of would have better ideas kind of as you move forward. I think if you were interested, it'd be a good, just step I would like to kind of offer up, just because.
Now, it sounds like she may actually be in California now that the conversation played. She's, because it sounds like maybe she just said putting California on hold. To me, I thought maybe relocation, but then she says leaving the Bay Area, so she might already be in the Bay. Did you ever get that info?
I really don't remember off the top of my head.
Okay, no worries.
I don't believe we have to confirm that, though.
Good, because the first step with purchases is getting them pre-approved with your lender, and if they're not already. So it sounds like you're going towards that direction of getting her connected with your lender. That's great. But before you get there, a good question to always ask is, have you already been pre-approved? That type of thing. And so that will open the conversation up and get them to talking about the situation, and you can they'll usually give you all the information you need.
Yeah, right before here, I had asked her if she had spoke with the lender already, and then I transitioned to I have a lender.
Okay, yeah, I must have when it paused. It must have skipped that part, but that's good.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, yeah. Because the way the market is right now, being able, as far as buying, the low interest rates, being able to buy right now is just a huge opportunity. And then I don't know if you have any properties to sell, but even as a seller, there are so many buyers in the market that when you're going to sell, you're selling for a higher price, and you're seeing that, cities all across the Bay Area to the Central Valley.
Yeah. Well, I could see
Yeah.
a little bit. But, I mean, you can send me the information, but at this point,
Okay.
I don't think I'm going to look too good to a lender. But you never
Yeah,
know
no
what'll
worries.
happen. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
And it's the best email at mmariacarter@gmail.com.
yep, that's it.
Okay, and this is the best number to reach you at as well?
Yes, And I'm
Okay,
sorry, I
perfect.
missed
So,
the name of your
Okay, okay.
company again?
EXP Realty, and my name is Michael Spivey.
Okay. Oh, and you're going to send me an email, so it'll all be on there, huh?
Yeah, and then I'll send you an email, and it'll be like my name, my information, my digital business card, all that stuff, and I'll let you know a lender that I kind of prefer, and if you'd like to move forward, then I can definitely I can have the lender give you a call. That'll probably be the easiest, just to see if that was fine with you.
No, I probably shouldn't right now. I don't want to waste anybody's time. But yeah. I haven't heard
Oh
of
yeah,
that.
no worries.
Oh,
You never heard of EXP Realty, really?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we have. But I was just calling just to see if there was any.
That's good that you tried again to get her to talk to your lender, but you're not being too pushy. But at the same time, even if she'd agree to it, you also don't want to waste your time or your mortgage guy's time if she's not truly motivated right now.
Very true. Anything I could do to assist? I don't want to hold you up too long. But
What's that?
I'm saying they're not even so same concept. We're just put them in a pipeline. The lender will put them in a pipeline and really not waste our time. We put them in a pipeline and we don't care if they're ready now or 5 years from now. They're just in the pipeline and hopefully when they're ready, we'll still be their point of contact.
But
So yeah, we're fine. Yeah.
getting her to the lender to pre-approve when she's not ready yet would be wasting time for the lender. I mean, why would you want to go through that process if she's not ready to do anything right now?
Oh yeah, so they know when they talk to her, they're like, oh, because another client I had them call. They said, oh, we're not ready now. They said, okay, no problem. They just put them in like in a what do you call it, like a campaign, and whenever they ready to pop, it's just they're trying to put their name and email in that campaign.
Okay.
And follow up once a year or something. Yeah, they're good.
I'll send my information over in an email just in case anything does change in the future, and you have a way to get back in contact with me if you need any assistance. But outside of that, I just wanted to call and see if there was anything I could do to help.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Okay, great. You have a rest of your day, okay?
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, good. So you sent her an email since then. Has she opened it?
I haven't checked. Let me look right now.
And so she's also in HomeBot as well, your drip system.
Yes.
Okay.
I sent her through HomeBot.
And you have a different campaign for sellers and for buyers.
Yeah. Yeah, because it makes it wrong. So even makes it wrong. So basically, they see sellers see something totally. Because sellers just more they see totally different stuff than the buyer does.
Right.
In fact, Michael did a tutorial. So let's just that'll be easy. We'll do this tutorial. So what Michael did is he did a quick little tutorial so that if someone is thinking about it or looking at it, they'll kind of know what all the tools are for a buyer.
Okay.
That's the buyer side. Yeah. So how would you rate us so far?
How would I rate?
The two of us so far in a couple of days, a week, whatever, as far as our pacing.
The only thing that I'm really looking at is the fact that you guys are making calls right now, and everything.
Okay.
I'm not looking for you guys to be producing appointments or anything like that. If you do, great. But right now, you just need to focus on more dials and get better at it. And it's just like practicing any sports. You just got to do more. But the fact that you guys are making calls and you're not afraid to do that, that's a big step right there, because 75% of realtors are either scared or just think they're too good, or they won't pick up the phone and make these type of calls. And so it's too early to rate you in our relationship with how you're doing.
Okay. And I am a little more like the SOI or the circle. I have no problem with that. I do have a obstacle or something with the expired or the for sale by owner, because I think I think your email is gonna say if I just need to know how to filter it down to like an area that I really know. Because in my head, as I'm doing this and I don't know what I'm doing, if I know the area, I feel like I can feel a little more confident in my conversation to where it's in my head. Michael tell me it's in my head, and I'm just kind of making it a little bit more difficult than it should be.
What are you worried about?
I don't know. I'm just thinking. I just feel like if I call an area that I don't know and they ask a question, because we're having our general conversation, I won't be able to talk.
What? Give me an example of what type of question that you're afraid that you won't be able to answer.
Like if they say, like say I'm calling, I'll just say Fremont. I don't know, what's going on this much there, right? And they say, well, I want to, I didn't sell because of blah 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 and blah blah blah, and I wouldn't know how to respond. Like, oh, in that area, I didn't say anything. I didn't answer. So I'm just, okay, I'm sorry. Like if you said, what about my neighbor? They sold their house. They sold fast. I don't want to tell my sister.
So here's the thing, Pamela. You're helping them. They don't know what you're supposed to say. Your goal is just to find out on that call what they thought happened. You're not supposed to know at this point. This is the first time you've spoke to them. And you just what you're asking them, and the only way to do this is because they're these folks. The only thing that you have to know is that they're pissed that it didn't sell. Whether it was the agent's fault, whether it was the pricing or the condition of the property. Right now on this first call, that's not your job to know. Your job is to get the reason why they think the property didn't sell. And you want them pointing the finger at their past agent. And that's the whole idea here. Now, maybe they were overpriced, and sometimes that has to do with the seller. They're not really motivated because they think it's worth something and it's not. Maybe it was the marketing, but those type of things, really all you're doing is you're doing more of a survey of why they think the property didn't sell, and if they still want to sell, and then at that point you're going for the appointment. Now, that's the reason why you're going for the appointment, is to see the property in person, talk to them after you've done some research, and on that first call, they're not going to expect you to have all that information. And remember, these folks, they don't know what you're supposed to say. They have no clue. You're just calling them out of the blue and asking them about what they do know is this. They know that it was on the market for 6 months. They know that how many showings they had. They know how many offers they had. So questions like that is what you're going to be asking to get them to give you the information that you need. Okay, it was on the market for 6 months. Did you guys have any offers? Did you have showings? Ask them those type of questions. Did you get any feedback from your realtor as to what he or she thought had happened, or any feedback from any of the potential buyers at the showings of what they thought, feedback on the property? And then when you're asking questions like that, it's just going to get them to start talking, and that's what you want, is to get them to start talking about the situation, so you have more ammo to ask more questions. But the thing is, like when I cold call, I cold call for realtors all over the nation. The less I know about the area, the better for me. I don't need to know about the area. I need to know about what happens with expired listings. I need to know about what happens with for sale by owners, because the same objections are going to continue to come up, and you use the same rebuttals to overcome those objections. There's just different personalities and different specific situations. And at the end of the day, let's say they hang up on you. Oh well, on to the next, right? Or if they're not interested, great, move them out of the way, on to the next. That's the awesome thing about all these expired listings and for sale by owners, is you have more every single day. And so if you screw up, or if somebody hangs up on you, awesome. Go through the no's to get to the yeses, and that's why it's lots of dials, because the more dials you have, You're going to go through no's. You're going to go through rejection, and you're going to find the yeses. But you have to keep dialing, even when you have negative people or people that are hanging up on you. Or let's say they ask you a question that you just can't overcome. Well, that's a great question. When we meet on Thursday, I can go over all of that with you. Or that's just you don't BS them. If you don't know, you don't know. And if you don't get the appointment because of that, that's okay. Then you and I and Michael, we all talk about it, and we have situations like that come up, and then we work through it. That's what this is all about. You're gonna run into stuff that you can't overcome, and you're not expected to know everything. But the way that you learn is by doing it, making a note. We listen to the call, we talk about it, and get better. Simple.
Okay. All right.
But your fears of them, whatever it is, that's normal. That's fine. That stuff, and the stuff that you're worried about, that might happen. But it's not. This is not going to make a difference. It's not going to change the outcome of what's happening. It's going to give you a learning experience, and then you just get better.
Yeah. Okay. Because I was looking at the list and, okay, like, how do I just do the open ones only and bypass the Fremont one? How do I manipulate it that way? That's in my head how I want to do it. But it is what it is.
Well, if I were you, I wouldn't. When I was calling, I wouldn't even look at the city. You want to look at the address. You want to look at how long it was on the market. You want to look at information like that because you're getting in your own head and you're allowing the area to affect the call. And it doesn't matter if they're in Sacramento, if they're in Tampa, if they're in Dallas, Texas. The situation with the expireds, the situation and the mindset with for sale by owners, it's all going to be the same. You're dealing with somebody who wants to sell their house. Either they're pissed off because it didn't get sold, or they're trying to avoid a commission, so they're doing it on their own. And so the mindset, and it's all the same no matter where you're calling, whether it's San Jose, Oakland, Hercules, any town. You're not expected to be an expert on that type of stuff when you first call, because the thing is, these sellers, they're not going to ask you like off the wall type questions. You're the one that's really going to be asking them, what they think happened when it didn't sell. And just so you know, there's usually 3 reasons why a property doesn't sell. It was overpriced, the condition of the property wasn't great, and it was overpriced because of that, or the marketing was just not up to par. Those 3 main things are what's going to happen here. And if it's overpriced, that just means that the realtor did not do his or her job by advising on the right price for the market and allowing his sellers to list at a price that wouldn't sell, which at the end of the day goes back on the realtor. The marketing wasn't great, so they just put it online, put it on the MLS, and didn't do anything to market the property, which happens a lot, or the condition of the property wasn't there. And so those 3 things are going to be the 3 reasons why a property doesn't sell. And so when you're calling, your job, your hope, your motivation is to get them to point the finger at their past agent, and from there, you're basically going in for an appointment to tell them a different strategy. Well, it looks like your property's on the market for 6 months, and it just came off as an expired listing. What on earth happened? Did you get any feedback? And then they'd be like, well, I have no clue, or our agent sucked, or blah blah blah, whatever they say. Like, okay, did you guys get any showings? Did you have any offers? And you get them to start talking, and when they start talking, you're going to get more information to ask more questions, and then you're going for the appointment. Okay, well, would it make sense to give us 15 minutes of your time so we can show you step by step what we would do different from your past realtor to get the property sold quickly in this market? Would it be worth 15 minutes of your time? And then you're just going for the appointment. Basically, you're showing them a different strategy. Or with a for sale by owner, you're showing them a strategy to where they can use you, let you guys handle everything, and not affect the bottom line, which is their net profit. Because that's all they're worried about, how much they make at the end. So you figure out, okay, so what do you need to net off this property? Okay, if we can show you a way to get it sold by using, if we can show you a way to get it sold without affecting the bottom line, would it be worth to take 10 minutes of your time to see how we would do it? So that's the main thing, especially with for sale by owners. The biggest thing, all you're trying to do is just get face to face. without, you don't lie to them, but you're just trying to get face to face to preview the property or whatever it may be. Oh, do you have a buyer? No, we don't have a buyer yet, but I would like to see the property for our buyers that could be interested in the area. And once you get face to face, it's a game changer once you're face to face. So you just got to. But the only way to start doing this stuff is just to get in there and call, and and then we'll have more to talk about. We'll have calls to listen to. We'll work through those. We'll talk about it more, but I think it would be good to do a live call session to where you guys we're all on like a hangout or something, and you guys are calling, and I can hear what they're saying, and I can hear what you're saying, and we talk about the calls in between. That'd be good to do at least sometime soon. We can do a live call session where you guys are making calls, and we can talk about them, after the call, and you just continue to make calls. We can do something like that here soon.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay.
You guys hopping on the dialer today?
Yeah, of course. Of course. Of course.
It's in our blood now.
Yeah, man. You guys take this energy and take it right to the phone. And if you guys have any good calls, you want me to listen to, just shoot that information over. And I think right now, let's see, we have a call scheduled for Monday, I think, and we can always text or chat in between. But I think then on Monday we'll cover more.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much.
Have a good day, guys. Let me know if let me know if you need anything else.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
Bye. All right, so that was a coaching session with a couple of students. They're in my cold calling program, Power Prospecting. If you guys want more information on that, hop on my calendar.